I know some people that are all about technique. And if I have the right system, and if I do this, here we go.
Yeah.
And I was like, kind of like shifting the book over, hoping, they're sitting beside me going, just take a read, just read a couple paragraphs here.
Yeah.
First of all, describe what technique is so we can bring our people along here. And you introduce a nice philosopher here with that technique. Help other people know who our friend Jacques, I don't even know if I could say it right. Jacques Ellul, is that how you say it?
That's how I say it. Jacques Ellul.
Jacques Ellul, and why he is such an important person to listen to, simply because you quote him quite a bit.
I do.
In the book.
Yeah. So I judge scholars by their names. And it's not a great idea. But Jacques Ellul, because I give talks.
No, you talk about Charles Taylor too.
He's the worst. He's the worst name. So boring. So boring. Charles Taylor, right? What kind of name is
Chuck?
that? Chuck Taylor. Chuck. I should start calling him Chuck Taylor. And wear
I love
Chuck
your
Taylors.
shoes.
And wear Chuck Taylors, right? And then point to him. That would be good. Another one of my favorites, Zygmunt Bauman. I don't even know if I'm saying Zygmunt Bauman.
Yeah, you talk about him because he does the liquid modernity. You talk about him for liquid modernity.
His name is great, right?
I know, I loved it. It's a fun name. Is he Polish?
It's a fun name. Yeah, I believe he is. He is.
Okay.
I'm gonna say he is. Yeah.
That's a fun name.
Jacques Ellul has this concept of technique, and what he says, the way to paraphrase, he roughly defines that technique is the effort to maximize efficiency, methods of maximizing efficiency in every sphere of human activity. All right. So it's not just being efficient, but it's methods of maximizing efficiency when we apply it everywhere. And his thesis in a technological society is that in the modern world, we're not just trying to be efficient, we're trying to be efficient in every place. And one of the examples I give in the book is that when I was actually writing this section, I'm a side sleeper. I love sleeping on my side, and because I'm getting old, my shoulder was starting to bother me. And so I searched for, on Google, why is my shoulder hurting when I'm sleeping on my side? And one of the first things that came up is the one right method for side sleeping. And I didn't know this existed, but I should have known that there is a one right technique for sleeping on your side. And it's like this scientifically, I don't know actually if it's scientific, but it probably is a scientifically proven method, the one right technique. And if you're not doing it that way, of course you're going to get hurt. And you intuitively know this because we're in this sort of society that if you're doing anything, right? If you're, laundry, teaching, preaching, talking to people, raising kids, I think parenting is one of the most places where you feel this acutely, because there's a lot of guilt involved with parenting. If you're not, potty training, and it goes all through, for the rest of your life, right? Your rest of your parenting, there's proper techniques of doing everything involved in parenting, disciplining, right? Reading to your kids, teaching them math, teaching them to do chores, everything, right? And if you don't do it properly, the one right way, then you're being a bad parent and you're going to ruin them in some way. And you better save up for counseling and whatever. That's the joke, but there's this sort of hidden truth or this implication that it's kind of true, right? And so Ellul's argument is that technique goes everywhere and it runs roughshod over all other values. So he's not opposed to efficiency. He's not saying that, hey, you should never be efficient. Don't intentionally wash dishes in the most inefficient way possible. But what he is saying is that what technique does in contemporary society is, if there is a more efficient way to do things, technique is going to pressure you to adopt that more efficient method, whether there are other values that would encourage you to choose less efficient methods or not. And this is particularly important for Christians because we have other values that are superior to efficiency. So things like beauty, truth, goodness, the spiritual virtues, right? Faith, hope, and love. There are times when we have to do things that our college president here at Oklahoma Baptist University says that, for example, our education is beautifully inefficient, right? To sit around and read literature in some respects is inefficient. Mm-hmm. Right? There are more efficient ways of getting an education, but if you value truth, if you value goodness, if you value beauty, then you have to do things that are inefficient. And so that's what Ellul's argument is. Sort of the two parts there. One is that technique overcomes all other things and pressures us to adopt efficiency. And you see that again, I think the great example is in parenting. There's this constant guilt, this constant pressure to adopt the one right way of doing everything. And you get this pressure in, you're reading headlines, here's the right way to do things, you're getting it in social media, you're getting it everywhere. And the other thing to note is that all other values become secondary or tertiary, or actually they're irrelevant. They just don't really matter.